Okay, here we go. Please welcome Steve Carell. Kerris Dorsey. And Oxenbould. Dylan Minnette. Thorne. And Jennifer Garner. Just to get us started here while everybody's getting set up, in the last press conference with the filmmakers, there were a number of questions about, a lot of conversation about the fact that as parents, Steve and Jennifer, you have a lot of input about what it's really like with a family. Can you address that?
Jennifer can.
It's on to you.
Steve and I are parents, not together but apart, and yeah,
and we're the best parents.
Yeah, we definitely know what we're doing. We just piped up and made our thoughts known, and at my house I totally wouldn't even do this. That's kind of how it went.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was just a matter of, like, if anything rang false to us, we would speak up. Mm-hmm. But more often than not, things felt like they would feel in our houses.
Yes, for sure. This is basically a day at my house. One day.
First question here in the front row.
Hi, great to talk to you guys. Jennifer, I had a question for you.
Yes,
you talk about working with the great Dick Van Dyke, and what's it like to have an American icon screaming at you on screen?
He can do whatever he wants. I mean, it was Dick Van Dyke. It was such a total thrill to try to conceive for my kids that I was with Chim Chim Cheree at work. It was so exciting. Yeah, it was a great day. And the only thing that was odd was that I was there without the rest of these guys, because we were such a unit the whole time we made this movie that I felt a little bit like, oh, I wish we were all here.
Great, thanks.
You're in the middle.
It's a question for Steve. On the one hand, your background with Second City taught you that the relationship between the characters is what makes the scene. And on the other hand, when I was speaking with Oscar Nunez the other day, he said that there's such that tight bond between office cast members, the off-screen love was there. So how do those two elements combine with your working relationship with Miguel from the Diwali episode?
I think a lot of it has to do with ensemble. And I'd worked with Miguel on The Office, and I thought he was a great director for The Office. He had a handle on the characters and the comedy of it, but also the subtleties within the interpersonal relationships between all of those characters. So to translate that to this kind of movie, I thought was a really good move on Disney's part, frankly, because he brings a subtlety and a specificity to the things that he works on. And I thought, for a movie like this, they could have very easily been straight down the middle and just completely broad and nothing else. I think he was able to find a very human quality to it, which is one of the reasons I loved working with him. And in terms of the ensemble and the Second City nature of it all, that's how I felt. And Jen spoke to that really briefly before. We did feel like a unit, and very quickly we all became friends, and it sounds like such a cliche, but we did feel like a family of sorts, and had a lot of fun together that way. And that's the way I like to work in an ensemble, like where everybody feels like they're an equal part.
Yes, Jen, the mom that you played here in this movie is very different from the mom you played in Men and Women Children.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I love the movie better. And it's also different from the mom you played in Timothy Green. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, by now, I mean, you yourself are a mom, so have you cracked what you think is the key to being a great mother? And also, is there a danger to being too positive like the Coopers are?
Well, oh gosh, if I cracked what it is to be a great mom, No, but that's the great thing about being a parent is that every day is a fresh start. You always can say, today we're going to try this, you know, and if it goes horribly, you say, today we're throwing that out and we're trying this. That's part of what I like about being a mom in general. But I have enjoyed this kind of new world of playing moms. And this little kid whose mom is a teacher at my child's school said, he said, Mrs. Affleck is a lot like my mom. She gets to have a lot of other kids. And I feel that way, you know, you form these relationships. But anyway, there was something else you asked me about, something.
Is there a danger to being too positive like Cooper's?
Oh, for sure, because you need to have, your kids need to be allowed to have a bad day. And you need to show them that it's okay to have the whole range of emotions. You should have it all. You should have rage and anger and sadness. And so there's a lot of room for joy and happiness as well.
Thank you. On the right.
Hi, my question is for Steve. I was wondering, what was it like working with so many kids after The Office?
It was the worst experience. And I know in print that will play really well. and because you can't read irony in print. They're great. They are so much fun. And including the babies that were in this movie, who we all fell in love with. Yeah, I have nothing but love for these special little.
And for the kids, I want to ask each of you, what do you think about your movie Parents, and do you have a favorite parent?
Why don't you take this one, Ed?
Yeah.
My movie Parents are better than my real parents.
I
can see my mom now.
That's definitely going to play well in print.
They're incredible. They're amazing guys.
Okay, well, yeah, we love. I mean, I'm such huge fans of both of them in their own right. Like all of your work, Steve, and all of your work, Jen. So being able to have them as parents was pretty cool and quite surreal for being a fan. And yeah, it was cool to be a family together and really sort of go through the day together and sort of form a bond with each other. It was really fun.
It felt, as Steve was saying, it really did feel like a real family.
It felt like a real group effort too.
Yeah.
I think we all were making this together. And, we all got through it together, so it was great.
Yeah.
Now, for each of you, I want to find out what is the best part of being part of the Cooper family, and for Bella, why would you want to be part of the Cooper family?
Well, I don't think Celia at the end wants to be part of the Cooper family. That's why their relationship kind of... the character Celia, you have to understand is this date for her is so big. It's her everything. And when it doesn't go exactly perfect, she gets a little angry. You know, a little angry. Just a
little bit.
It's prom. You don't mess with prom. Prom.
On the right.
Hey guys, did such a great job doing the family unit. I really believed it all. When things get crazy around your house, how do you keep things cool? How do you keep everybody else cool? How do you keep yourself cool? What's the secret?
Air conditioning.
I mean, slow round of applause.
I don't know, my dad is kind of like Steve's character as a movie.
Wonderful, wonderful man.
He's a wonderful actually. He's a lot has a lot of optimism, and that's sometimes a driving force. I think you have to have the beautiful balance of Steve's character and Jen's character of the positiveness and also the realism, and so I think it comes from your parents and sort of the heads of the family, and that's sort of how it is in my house. I have both of those sort of influences on me, but yeah, everybody having a good attitude at the end of the day is always good.
Here on the left in the second row.
So we have the veterans, Jennifer and Steve, but this is actually more directed for the younger cast. There was a lot of mishaps in this film. There was a lot of stunts in this film. How did you guys prep for this? Falling trophy cases, fire, swinging for, Peter Pan.
We went out and burnt stuff.
Yeah.
All things down.
Yeah.
Real life. Yeah. Took real life experiences.
We read
and
Emily's.
They taught me how to professionally crash a car.
You didn't need it.
No,
Yeah,
no.
Not one in your book.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a lot of prep for stunts or anything, was it? Like major prep?
I mean,
They
we
put
had
you on a wire.
Yeah, I worked with the stunt coordinator Garrett. We did a stunt wire training day, which was just really fun. It wasn't scary at all. It's like my dream to play Peter Pan. So that was my prep in terms of stunts.
That's kind of the great thing about this job in general is that there's no way to learn it besides on-the-job training.
Yeah.
So these guys just have a leg up on the rest of us.
Yeah, this is for all of you. Did you have a really bad day during the process of this journey?
I'm sure.
The rap
Yeah,
thing
for sure.
was so sad.
There's always a day where you look around and say, this is the nadir of the making of this film. And we had a day that was outside and really hot, and we shot the same thing all day.
Yeah,
And
we
got-
were
the baby
hot.
was crying, but that we
We
also
were filming
got,
a movie and got hot. So sad.
but we also understood that we had it in perspective. And thank you, Steve.
Right under the bus.
On the left side in the middle.
Hi, this question is for the parents. As a parent, I know my kids have bad days a lot of the times, or not a lot, sorry, some of the times. Steve's about to break. So how do you guys, as parents, lift up your kids' spirits when they have bad days and show them that it's not so bad?
You know what? My wife and I go through this from time to time, and part of the challenge for us is not being overly sensitive to our kids having good or bad days, because you can drive your kids crazy by saying, "Are you okay? Is everything all right?
Oh, yeah.
Please tell me what's going on." And sometimes you just might be having kind of a quietly and privately bad day, and you just want to work through it yourself, and you don't want to have your parents trying to make it better, because ultimately we're not going to be there to make it better. So I think that's the toughest part for us is holding back from always trying to make it perfect or make it ideal, or if they get assigned a class that doesn't have their best friends in it, to allow them to make new friends and to deal with it and to get past it, because life will give you twists and turns. So that to me is and to my wife and I, that's our challenge, is to not make every day the best day possible. It's not realistic.
Third row, right?
Hi, my question is for Jennifer and Steve. Since you're both parents, what do you hope families get out of this movie when they walk out?
That's a great question. I do feel so excited that we are bringing a real family movie out, and that we get to be part of a real family movie that's going out into the world. And I do feel like, with Bella and Dylan and Kerris, that this is a movie that teenagers should like. And I know that when I got to see it, I brought my 5-year-old along, and she loved it too. Her favorite was Steve and the Kangaroo. But I do feel like this is a film that families can see, and I hope at the end of it that it should make you feel more like a family and remind you that whatever happens, you're all going through it together.
Bella, your character is more or less the bad guy in the movie, right? Was that fun? Was that fun? Was it hard to play? Did you draw from real life experience? How did you play it?
It's hard when I'm looking at Dylan. Dylan with his big freaking eyes looking at me, so sensitive and so please don't hurt me. It was so hard to do that dinner scene that I'm so mean in, and they were just like, meaner. And I'm looking at Dylan and he's just like, don't do that on my coverage, just don't do it on my coverage.
We're actually not talking about it on camera, this is behind the scenes.
And it was hard to be mean. It is hard, but at the same time, it's funny. I mean, you love to hate her. It's fun to be mean.
That's the takeaway.
On the aisle.
Hi guys, so in the movie Alexander has a disconnect with his family at first. They just don't understand what he's going through. So for all of you, is there ever a time where people just don't understand what you're going through, and how do you deal with that?
Who is distracted towards?
Everyone.
Everyone?
Everyone.
Anyone.
Nobody answered.
I think, well, like, the thing for Alexander is I think he sort of starts to feel relieved when he sees that his family's going through the same things at the same time as him, because it's sad, but when you're going through stuff, it's fun to have company to, like, help you through it. So sometimes it's nice when you have other people that are having bad days alongside you, because then you can relate to each other and just realize the ridiculousness of the day and then move along and sort of get through it. I think that was an answer to your question.
My question is for Steve and Jennifer, and then eventually the younger cast as well. What I like about this movie is it seems to hark back to a lot of the live-action family movies that Disney used to make all the time, that we grew up on. And kind of what does it mean to you to kind of be the leaders of a new generation of live-action family Disney movies? And for the younger cast, what does it mean to you also to be part of this new kind of chapter for Disney and a movie like this that literally the whole family can see?
I hope you're right. I hope this does set a trend. And it's one of the reasons I was interested in doing it, because it's hard. I don't want to say throwback, because there's sort of a derogatory implication there. But you're right. These kind of movies, live action family movies, aren't done as often as they used to be. And I was excited because it's a new take on that genre of movie. It's a director that's not necessarily known for mainstream movies, who was kind of giving a different spin to it. So I hope you're right. I hope it is a trend that continues, because I know my kids can't wait. And like, you don't care, but they do, and all of their friends care. And I took my son aside the other day and said, "Now, are kids really? Do you think your classmates really want to see this?" And he said, "Yeah. I mean, apart from you being in it, they're really excited about it. You know, that wasn't like the draw. It looked like something they wanted to see. So that was exciting to hear."
And for me, it kind of feels like it feels like a movie that the kind of movie that I grew up with, that I enjoyed watching as from ages 1 to now, even just in between 1 and 12. Really, I really grew up with those movies, and it really does feel like a classic in a sense. It's a movie that doesn't really get made anymore. So.
You can go with your siblings, with your parents, with your friends, and there's something in it for everyone. And I feel like it's nice to have a movie just, being a teenager and knowing that I could go see a movie with my parents and not feel really awkward and uncomfortable, and like go with my friends and still laugh and have a good time, and yeah, it's like what you guys said, there aren't a lot of movies like that, so I guess it's refreshing.
In the back.
The movie being based on a book, how many of you remember reading the book as kids, or for Jennifer and Steve, was this a book that you guys read to your children? Because I know it's carried with me through all my years, so.
Yeah, it's a mainstay in our house, for sure. My kids are over it, actually, at this point, because everyone's talking about it. They're talking about the movie. My kids have seen the movie. They're like, actually, it's off of our list for now. I'm sure that this is not the way this answer should be going, but it's going to come back around. Don't worry.
You guys love it so much, and you just need to take a break from it,
Yeah,
and then it'll come back for sure.
Here in the left.
Yes, this is for everyone, if you care to answer. Aside from having a role, a gig basically, what attracted you to each role?
I love just the character of Alexander because he's just quite relatable. I think I can't relate to him completely because I'm not a full-blown pessimist like he is. I think part of him is a terrible person for me. But I think other kids can relate to him slightly, and plus I just got to do cool things. and I know it'll be fun with all the kids and Jen and Steve, and it was. And yeah, that's what drew me to the role.
Jim, I think you're going to be our last question here.
Okay, well, Dylan and Kerris, another attraction for both of you is that you got music in this movie. So could both of you tell me about the song and how it came to be included? And sing it. No, I'm just kidding.
And sing it. We'll sing our answers for you. So, yeah, Miguel, the director, called me a while after the movie. You know, we'd finished filming, and he said, "Hey, Kerris, you know, I know that you write music and you sing, and I would love it if you wanted to write something for Alexander." And he said he knew my sister was a songwriter as well, and he said, you know, if you want to, you can write it with her. So I came to her and I said, look, we have a short amount of time to write this song, and we were trying to come up with concepts and trying to figure it out, and we watched the trailer of the movie, and it said, get ready for the best worst day ever. And so then we were like, that's a really good title, it's really catchy. And there's a really cool acronym, like best right. Anyways, so we wrote the song, and then it plays in the end of the credits. So it was already, you know, such a lovely experience, and so to have that as well put into it was just like icing on the cake. It was so fun.
It was the same thing for the Narwhals, which is the
Dylan's amazing band, by the way. Yeah. They're so good.
Yeah, Miguel I just got a call that Miguel wanted us to have a song in the movie because he knew that I played music, and they wanted us to write a song for the film. But I said, I really think that we have a song that would fit this movie really well called Search If Don't Drown. I really think that Disney and you should take a listen to it. And they did, and they loved it. They flew the guys down to Atlanta because I was there and we recorded, and now it's in the film for a minute or two and during a montage. So it's really exciting. And I'm bringing the guys to the premiere. They're all really excited. It's just fun.
Yeah. If you see it again, get up and dance. It's a montage. Just do it. People will stare at you. Maybe they'll be inspired.
Yeah. It's, so thanks to Miguel and his great heart, we have our other interests in it as well. So it's fun.
Thank you. Everybody stay in your seats for just 1 second.
Oh yeah. There we go.
Yeah, that's all.